Good morning, everyone. A lot of you probably know me. My name is PJ Hernandez. But yeah, I just wanted to come out here today because it's a beautiful, beautiful morning. It is 7:43 right now. But yeah, it's a beautiful morning. I'm at this really cool spot. It's kind of near Hart Park. It's kind of like a little bit away though. Had to take like a sketchy road. It's really cool though. I really like it. But yeah, if a lot of you didn't know, I just wanted to come out here today just because it's my birthday. So I turned 23 years old today. I was born July 24th, 2001. So today's my birthday. And I just really wanted to make this quick video, just talking about everything that God has done for me and just being grateful for all that God has done for me. You know, it's it hasn't been an easy path. This 23 years, it hasn't been easy. There's been a lot of suffering. There's been a lot of trials. There's been a lot of errors. There's been a lot of good. There's been a lot of bad. There's been a lot of great. It's life's a mix of everything. And I never really realized that until maybe a couple years ago. I was always, angry at God, or I was always so I always had something like just some type of attitude with God because I thought that life was unfair. And I was like, what the heck, God? Like, why does this person, get to do that? Why do they, well, why do they get to, don't mind the bike guy, but, I was always wondering, why do they get to have the nice things in life? Why do they get to have this? Why do they get to have that? While I'm over here, in Fresno State, struggling to pay, my housing payment, struggling to make ends meet for the week, working, like 45 hours a week while being a full-time student and, doing all this stuff. And it was just like, I felt like life was just unfair. But, not until recently of, just talking with some people at the church and talking with my dad and all this stuff, it's just like, I've realized that like God wants you to go through all these like trials and errors. He wants you to go through all this suffering so that way he could build you up from it. And that's just the way the world is. I mean, sadly, this isn't, the Garden of Eden. Sadly, the earth has been corrupted by all of our original sin, but God uses that to show us grace. He uses our suffering to show us the beauty of life, to show us just how beautiful and just how amazing this world can be, even through all the negative and all the bad. And, just being alive today for me, like I'm 23 years old now. It doesn't really I don't really feel any different. I don't have like superpowers now. I'm not going to like be able to do like 10 backflips in a row or just some crazy stuff like that. But it's like, I'm alive. And I think a lot of people just take that simple statement, I am alive, for granted. And I used to for a long time. I used to take I am alive for granted for a super long time. I've had family members just randomly pass away one night. And just a lot of stuff like that made me realize that statement, I am alive, that I need to be grateful for that every single morning, just like I'm grateful for everything that God has given me. But yeah, I mean, it's just surreal to be here right now, just to be out here in nature. I know it doesn't look like a lot just because all the fields are yellow and, there's a bunch of dirt and stuff like that, but it's like, it all depends on your perspective of life. And I think that's something that's amazing that God has given us, is just that perspective. And it's just, if you could switch your perspective just a little bit, then you'll be able to see that, like, even though this isn't really a lot, it's just beautiful to look at. It's just amazing. And I just love coming out here and just being by myself. I'm away from everything. I'm away from the whole city. I'm away from all the noise. I'm just away from everything. I'm just enjoying the life and the simple peace that God has given me for my birthday today. And I just love it. I mean, I could sit out here for hours and just stare off into the distance and just never look back. But yeah, I mean, I just wanted to come out here. This is just kind of a random video of me just talking and jumbling on about, just random stuff and my birthday. But yeah, I just, wanted to come out here and just say, no matter what day it is, whether it's your birthday, whether it's a funeral, whether it's a friend's birthday, whether you graduated, whether you just got that job, this or that, I think my only advice to you would just be to be grateful just for life. Just don't take anything for granted, because nothing is ever guaranteed in this life. We all someday have to pass on. And I think a lot of people don't realize that, and they like to live their life at 100 miles an hour. But it's like, I'm 23 years old. I could be going to parties. I could be going to the club. I could be going to the bar. I could be doing all this stuff. But it's like, I don't want to do that, because first of all, that doesn't glorify God. And second of all, it's like, I want to live my life slow. And I know a lot of people don't like that, but it's like, I want to live my life slow. I want to enjoy the simple things that God has given me. I want to enjoy the McDonald's breakfast sandwich that God's going to, allow me to buy. I want to enjoy the simple $1 coffee I got at, McDonald's. It's like, I want to enjoy all these things, because it's like one day I won't be able to enjoy them. And it's like, I want to make these tiny memories, because that's truly what makes life beautiful, and God knows that. That's why God provides us with so many little tiny moments in our life that we think are insignificant, but God knows that those little tiny moments in life, that's what we really remember when it comes down to everything. I mean, I remember a tiny moment of me and my best friend Isaac. He's my best friend. I love this guy. But it's like in high school, we were kind of at first we were rivals for maybe a day or two, just because we were fighting for the same position in football. But it's like, there was a tiny moment where he was on the bench putting his cleats on, and then I was on the bench putting my cleats on. And, he was just talking to me, just a simple conversation. He was like, he's like, hey, your name's PJ, you play safety too, right? That's what he said. Literally the exact words he said. And I was like, yeah, obviously I didn't say it like that. It was more aggressive, because he was my rival. But just that simple interaction that we had, I remember that. And that was my junior year of high school. And it's like, I remember that because God knew that was going to be a significant moment, and just a great moment for me to remember. Even though it may seem super just boring and it has no content or backstory behind it, it's like, I remember that. But yeah, like I said, I think people just need to live slow. Just be grateful for being alive, and just enjoy the nature that God has, put out in front of you. I'm just going to read a quick little excerpt from Genesis. So let me open up my Bible right now. All right. So yeah, I also think this verse is overlooked a lot too. So yeah, it's Genesis 1:1. So in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So yeah, like I said, it's a super simple excerpt that is overlooked a lot of the time. People are like, oh yeah, of course God created the heavens and the earth. How else would we be alive, and how would we have everything? But it's like, really think about that. Really think about what that means. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So it's like, a lot of people, especially with everything going on nowadays, they like to look at the whole world. They like to look at the earth and be like, this is a terrible, disgusting, and horrible place. I'd rather die than live here. And it's like, sometimes that may be true. Sometimes you may see the world like that. But like I said, if you shift your perspective a little bit, then you'll be able to see past all the ugly. Obviously, you shouldn't ignore what's going on or ignore the ugly, but it's like, you can't live your life in fear, and you can't live your life having a negative perspective on everything, or else you're just going to hate life. So if you switch your perspective, you could see beauty, you could see love, you could see peace, you could see all these things if you switch your perspective up. So that's pretty much my little, I guess, devotional, or like my little quote of the day. Just switch your perspective and just live slower. But that's it for me. So thank you and have a good day.